Yes, very good morning, my dear friends.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Right, come on, tell me, my dear friends, what is section 7?
Supply.
Section 7 deals with the concept of supply. Section 8 deals with taxability of composite supply and mixed supply. Section 9, charge of GST. Section 10, composition scheme. And in that we learnt about two categories, 10-1 and 10-2. Other one, 10-2A. 10-1, 10-2 applicable for how many categories? What are three categories? Manufacturer, trader, restaurant and catering service provider. Correct, my dear friends? Manufacturer, what is the rate of GST? 0.5% plus 0.5% of total turnover. Trader, 0.5% plus 0.5% of taxable turnover. Correct? Then restaurant and catering service provider, 2.5% plus 2.5% of turnover. 10-2A, what is the GST rate? Can composition registered person give tax invoice? No. What document he will give? Bill of supply. Can he collect tax from customer? No. Can he claim input tax credit? No, exactly. And on the principal place of business, additional place of business, he must properly mention that he is a composition registered person. Are we clear with that, everybody? All of us? Then, my dear friends, let me tell you an interesting point. Section 7 we discussed what is supply. 8 we spoke what is composite supply, mixed supply. 9 we have discussed charge of GST. 10 we have covered composition scheme. Let me tell you, section 11 has specified that. Section 11 has given power to central government. I repeat one more time. Section 11 has given power to central government to notify exemptions. One more time I repeat. What did I just say? Section 11 has given power to central government to notify exemptions. When section 11 has given power to central government to notify exemption, that is where we have discussed all of our exemption list, like agriculture related service, healthcare service, and in the previous lecture we covered some very important point, educational services. Clear with that point? And in case of religious trust, we discussed that in case of renting of rooms, it is taxable if it is 1,000 or more per day. If it is renting of shops, it is taxable if it is 10,000 or more per month. Renting of Kalyana Mandapa open areas, 10,000 or more per day. We have covered these points. Very, very interesting and very, very excellent point we have covered there. And I am sure we got good clarity on these points. Please reply, my dear friends.
Yes, sir.
Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, my dear friends, this particular lecture, we are going to start discussion about an interesting topic known as the concept of time of supply. What is the topic we are trying to learn, my dear friends? Time of supply. Now, as we know that section 7 to 11, what we have discussed already, this time of supply concept is dealt by section 12, section 12, 13 and 14. 15 next deals with value of supply. Section 12, 13 and 14. These three sections deals with the concept of time of supply. Friends, getting clarity, everybody? Section 12, 13, 14 deals with the concept of time of supply. And let me also tell you, 12 deals with time of supply in case of goods. 13 deals with time of supply in case of services. 14 deals with time of supply in case of change in rate of tax. Good. Some students are giving reactions. Wonderful. Section 12 deals with what? Time of supply in case of goods. 13 deals with time of supply in case of services. 14 deals with time of supply in case of change in rate of tax. So these are concept of section 12, 13 and 14. Every section we have got some subsections what we have to learn. There are some good interesting points to discuss which we'll talk in detail and become perfect. Don't worry. Are we ready, my dear friends?
Yes, sir.
Shall we start the discussion?
Yes, sir.
Come on. First of all, let's try to understand what is the purpose of this topic called time of supply. That is very important. Yeah? So let's say, for example, there is one person, Mr. Shiva Teja, who is a chartered accountant, of course a cost accountant as well. He is a registered person in GST. Now, what I have done is, I provided service to my client. Let us say service is given on 6th of June. 6th of June. And what I have done is, I have given invoice to the client on 4th of July. And finally, client made payment. Client made payment. Let us say on 10th of August. Now we observe carefully, keeping the dates for a second aside. Keeping the dates for a second aside, you tell me, service is given in which month? June. Service is very clearly given in the month of June. Service is given in the month of June. Invoice is given when? July. Service is given in June. Invoice is given in July. When payment has come to Shiva Teja? August. Generally, I repeat one more time. Generally, what is the due date for payment of GST? Let me tell you, the due date for payment of GST is generally for a normal registered person. One more time I repeat, for a normal registered person. One more time I repeat, for a normal registered person, generally the due date for payment of tax is 20th of next month. One more time I repeat, normally the due date for payment of tax is 20th of next month. Do we know that? That is when we file a return called GSTR 3B, which is called summary return. In that we show output details, input details, and file a return. Clear, friends? Speak out. That is where we call it as summary return, and that's the time for payment of tax. So generally, what is the due date? Generally, due date for payment of tax is 20th of next month. That point is very clear that generally the due date for payment of tax is 20th of next month. When I say 20th of next month, if I consider June, I have to pay the tax by 20th of July. If I consider July, I have to pay by 20th of August. If I consider August, I have to pay by 20th of September. Now the question is all about, what should I consider? Now what should I consider? Concept is given by time of supply. Did you understand? I feel so sad when I take a class for CMA final and they have already wrote CMA inter exams, and CMA inter they passed and they qualified. Topic is also over, chapter also learned. They know what is time of supply, but they are not clear why they are learning it. Sir, it must be purpose driven. That time you learned invoice payment, whichever is earlier, this earlier, this later, that earlier. Okay, that is fine. But why? Why are we learning that? What is the purpose of it? And what is the practical impact of it? That's most important. No? And if it is not purpose driven, there is no use, boss. Simple equation. So getting clarity? Now in English language I will tell, from that time English only I am telling, but in literal language I will tell that the fundamental purpose of time of supply is to trigger, is to find out the trigger point for payment of tax. Other words, I'll make you write one line where I will tell you, time of supply determines the time when liability to pay the tax arises. But time of supply will not tell what is the due date for payment of tax. Already we know that answer, due date for payment of tax is 20th of next month. Already we know the answer for that time of supply is due date for payment of tax is 20th of next month. But which month should I take? That concept is given by time of supply. So time of supply determines when the liability for payment of tax arises. And in this concept of time of supply, we have got three interesting sections, section 12, 13 and 14. Section 12 deals with time of supply in case of goods. 13 deals with time of supply in case of services. 14 deals with time of supply in case of change in rate of tax. Clear, friends? So let's spend some very good time today and become perfect in this. Are we clear? So put the heading in your book, time of supply. Come on, friends, what is the topic name? Write in the bracket. Section 12 to section 14. First point. Time of supply determines, what is that line, my dear friends? Time of supply determines the point in time, when the liability for payment of tax arises. Very, very interesting line. Time of supply determines the point in time when the liability for payment of tax arises. Clear, my dear friends? Speak out.
Yes, sir.
Next point. Generally, the due date for payment of tax is equal to what, my dear friends? 20th of next month. The bracket, which month to be considered? Which month to be considered is determined using provisions of time of supply. Which month to be considered is determined using provisions of what, my dear friends? Time of supply. So are we getting clarity on this point, everybody? So please reply, come on.
Yes, sir.
The time of supply determines the point in time when the liability to pay tax, what, my dear friends, arises. And generally, the due date for payment of tax is what? 20th of next month. Which month to be considered is determined using the provisions of what? Time of supply. Are we getting clarity? Next slide. Important parameters for determination of time of supply is date of invoice, date of payment. What the first one, sir? Date of invoice. Second one, date of payment. And date of supply of goods or service. I'm sure we are clear with this point. Everyone, sir, please reply. Yes, come on, my dear friends. First section is what in time of supply? Section 12 deals with time of supply in case of goods. In 12, we have got 12.1, 12.2, 12.3, 12.4, 12.5, 12.6. Getting the point, my dear friends? And 12.1 says, simple line answer, liability to pay tax. What is that line, my dear friends? Liability to pay tax shall be as per provisions of time of supply. Come on, friends, getting clarity on this point? 12.1 says what? Liability to pay tax shall be as per provisions of time of supply. When you are liable to pay tax, it is determined using the provisions of time of supply. 12.2 talks about general rule. 12.2 talks about what, sir? General rule. What is a general rule? We'll talk in detail. And general rule always says time of supply is date of invoice. But for which we need to discuss a lot. We need to talk a lot about what is date of invoice. Are we clear, my dear friends? So please reply. 12.1 says what, my dear friends? Liability to pay tax shall be as per provisions of time of supply. 12.2 is what? General rule. General rule says what? Date of invoice. What is date of invoice? We'll talk in detail. Don't worry. Next, 12.3. 12.3 talks about time of supply in case of goods covered under RCM. So 12.3 talks about what, my dear friends? Time of supply in case of goods covered under RCM. I strongly believe that you remember what are those goods which are covered under RCM. 4 cases we discussed. Supplier is agriculture, recipient registered person. What is that? Cashew nuts not shelled or peeled. BD wrapper leaves, also called tendu leaves. Tobacco leaves. Raw cotton. These 4 cases RCM will apply if supplier is agriculturist, recipient is registered person. Priority sector lending certificate, both are registered persons. Correct, no friends? Then what about lottery? State government, union territory, local authority. Recipient is lottery distributor or selling agent. Then silk yarn, manufacturer of silk yarn. Recipient is registered person. Used and confiscated goods. Central government, state government, union territory, local authority. Recipient is registered person. Metal scrap. Supplier is unregistered person. Recipient is registered person. Same concept we applied even for essential oils. Same concept we applied even for essential oils. Friends, covered? Discussed?
Yes, sir.
I hope we are clear.
Yes, sir.
Everyone, sir?
Yes, sir.
Good. Thank you very much. What is 12.1? Come on. Liability to pay tax shall be as per provisions of time of supply. 12.2. General. 12.3. Time of supply for goods covered under RCM. 12.4 is, my dear friends, time of supply in case of vouchers. 12.4 talks about time of supply in case of what, my dear friends? Vouchers. Next, 12.5 talks about residual case. What is the residual case? We'll talk separately. And 12.6 talks about addition in value. Addition in value by way of interest, late fee, or penalty, which is charged by who, my dear friends? Supplier. Addition in value by way of interest, late fee, or penalty, which is charged by supplier. Very, very interesting points. So that's about 12.1 to 12.6, which we'll talk in detail. So what is 12.1, my dear friends? Liability to pay tax shall be as provisions of time of supply. What is the provisions? We'll talk in detail. 12.2 is what? General. 12.3 is time of supply for goods covered under RCM. 12.4 vouchers. Time of supply in case of vouchers. 12.5 residual case. 12.6 addition in value by way of interest, late fee, or penalty, which is charged by supplier. Getting clarity, everybody? So it's a small interesting topic, but makes sense. So we need to understand some points very, very clearly. So we have discussed 12.1 is over. For information, 12.1 is over. What is 12.1? Liability to pay tax shall be as provisions of time of supply. That is what we are trying to learn. So correct or not? Yes, sir. What is section 12.2? That we'll talk in detail. Now relax for some time. Please concentrate. 12.2 is what, my dear friends? General rule. Now, in this general rule, the concept to be noted is earlier, once upon a time, what they told is date of invoice or date of payment, whichever is earlier. This was originally the concept when the GST law was framed in 2017. In July 2017, when the GST law was framed, this was the answer for time of supply, where they clearly told date of invoice or date of payment, whichever is earlier. But subsequently, this point got amended. After amendment, straight away they told time of supply is date of invoice. But just if they write the word date of invoice, there is a very, very big problem here. Why big problem? There could be some situation where people have supplied the goods, but they have not given invoice. If you don't give invoice, where is the date of invoice then? That fellow will tell, since invoice date is not available, I will not pay tax only. Is that okay? Since invoice date is not available, I will not pay tax only. Is that okay? Not at all okay. Very much not okay. Sir, correct or not, sir? Yes, sir. Speak out, my dear friends. Yes, that is where amendment has come in the law, where they clearly told time of supply means date of invoice. And they have defined what is date of invoice. Please see very clearly here. Very clearly you listen, my dear friends. Date of invoice means, what is that word, sir? Date of invoice means actual date of invoice. One more time I repeat. What is that word, sir? Date of invoice means actual date of invoice or last date when invoice is ought to have been issued under section 31, whichever is earlier. Very interesting line, whichever is earlier. What does this mean, my dear friends? Come on, read that line once again. Date of invoice means actual date of invoice or last date when invoice is ought to have been issued under section 31, whichever is earlier. Ought to have been issued means when invoice is supposed to have been issued. What is the actual date or when you are supposed to issue? Whichever is earlier. Clear, friends? Actual date means what? Whatever is the actual date of invoice. Nothing you have to explain there. But the big question is when invoice is ought to have been issued. Under which section? That is important. That is important. Now listen very clearly here. As per section 31, come on friends, as per which section, sir? 31. What they told is, if there is movement of goods, if there is what, sir? Movement of goods, invoice must be issued on or before the date of removal. One more time I repeat. What is the line I wrote, sir? If there is what, sir? If there is movement of goods, invoice must be issued on or before the date of removal. So on or before the date of removal, invoice is supposed to be issued if there is a movement of goods. Movement of goods means there is a requirement of physical movement of goods. So if there is movement of goods, invoice must be issued on or before the date of removal. Getting clarity? Speak out, friends. Yes, sir. Next. If there is no movement of goods, invoice must be issued on or before the date of delivery. So, the movement of goods, what is the answer, friends? Invoice must be issued on or before a date of removal. And if there is no movement of goods, invoice must be issued on or before a date of delivery. Date of? I'll explain. I'll give the examples. Don't worry. I'll come to that. So, if there is movement of goods, what is the answer, friends? Invoice must be issued on or before a date of removal. And if there is no movement of goods, invoice must be issued on or before a date of delivery. We'll take examples, don't worry. Next. In case of goods sent on approval basis, invoice must be issued at the time when it is approved, or 6 months. I'm sure you know that concept. How many months, my dear friends? 6 months from the date of removal, whichever is earlier. Very, very important line. In case goods sent on approval basis, invoice must be issued at the time when it is approved, or 6 months from the date of removal, whichever is earlier. Is that clear? One more last point I will tell, then we'll take up the examples. That is, in case of continuous supply of goods. Come on, friends, what is the I wrote? Continuous supply of goods. It means, what is that line, sir? In case of what? Continuous supply of goods. Goods are supplied under a contract on recurring basis, and payment is settled periodically. One more time I repeat. Payment is settled how, sir? Periodically. Sir, read that line once again. That hashtag what I wrote. Goods are supplied under a contract on recurring basis and payment is settled periodically. I'll give a classic example. Let's say, for example, there is one cement dealer. Cement dealer has got a contract with one construction company to keep on supplying cement till the end of construction of building, and he'll keep on supplying cement. Correct, no friends? For every bag what he is sending, he will not ask payment. There is a clear contract what they will have. You keep supplying cement every 15 days once or every monthly once. We will sit and settle the payment. Continuous supply service is also there. But right now we are only in section 12. Section 12 deals with time of supply in case of goods. When I go to service, there will talk continuous supply service also. Don't worry. So clear with this point, everyone? Come on, friends. Continuous supply of goods means what? Goods are supplied under a contract on recurring basis and payment is settled periodically. Are we clear? So, in case of continuous supply of goods, my dear friends, invoice must be issued at the time when statement is issued or payment is received. Invoice must be issued when, sir? At the time when statement is issued or payment is received. That is the time when invoice is supposed to be issued. But why all this section 31, this much effort we have taken to understand the concept of 31 tax invoice? There is a strong reason for that. That strong reason is time of supply clearly says what? Time of supply says date of invoice. And date of invoice means what? Date of invoice means actual date of invoice or last date when invoice is ought to have been issued under section 31, whichever is earlier. Now question is all about when invoice is ought to have been issued. That is why we are trying to discuss all these points. Now let's take some examples to get complete clarity on this, sir. Please concentrate. Let us say example 1. One person, Mr. A, is a registered person who is a trader in laptop. Who is a trader in? And what A has done is, Mr. A supplied to one person, Mr. B. He supplied on, let us say, 10th September. Come on, friends, when did he supply? 10th September. And what A has done is, A has given invoice to B. Okay, my dear friends, it's given on 15th September. And what has happened is, Mr. B, he made payment on 4th October. When did he make the payment, my dear friends? 4th of October. So I got the case very clearly. Speak out, my dear friends. Like this, all the story they give in the question, where they give all the events that have occurred. And they'll clearly ask you in the exam, what is the answer for time of supply? Tell me, what is your answer? You want options? I'll give 3 options. What, sir? Okay, I'll ask one by one. I'll ask. How many have you said 10th September? Few of them. How many say 15th September? Majority. How many have said 4th October? Minority. Nobody is there. Thankfully, nobody is there. Sir, what is the answer for time of supply? I told you. Date of invoice. Date of invoice means what? Actual date of invoice or last date when invoice is ought to have been issued. Under which section? 31. Whichever is earlier. Tell me, what is the actual date of invoice? Actual date of invoice is 15th of September. Actual date of invoice is 15th of September. But when invoice is ought to have been issued is given by section 31. Speak out.
Yes, sir.
When I say laptop, is there a movement of goods? Yes. If there is a movement of goods, invoice must be issued when? On or before the date of removal. So speak out.
Yes, sir.
Speak out.
Yes, sir.
When is the removal? 10th September. So, actual date of invoice is 15th September, but invoice is ought to have been issued on 10th September. And time of supply will be actual date of invoice or last date when invoice is ought to have been issued under section 31, whichever is earlier. So the answer will become this is the meaning of the word called removal. That's why I clarified. Sir, I hope you are clear.
Yes, sir.
Are tell sir?
Yes, sir.
Reply sir.
Yes, sir.
We will take one more example. Okay? Let's get the best clarity out of this. Example 2. There is one person, Mr. Bahubali. Mr. Bahubali, a registered person in GST and is a trader in Swartz. Is a trader in Swartz. And there is one person, Mr. No, she is relaxing. She is gone. They have a person, Mr. Kattappa. What has happened is, Bahubali supplies was to Kattappa, but he didn't know that that's what is for him only. They? Long journey. Yeah. Okay. Bahubali, relax. Bahubali, what he has done is, he supplied on 10th October. 10th October. And Kattappa made payment on 6th October. You saw Kattappa advanced. Advanced fellow. Full payment he made first only. Yeah? And Bahubali actually gave invoice to Kattappa on 11th October. Think very properly and give me the answer for time of supply. You want options? How many of say 10th October? 3-4 people. How many of say 11th October? Only one person. How many of say 6th October? Majority. Very good. The answer is October. The answer is 10th October. The answer is what my difference? 10th of October. Because the reason is very clear that time of supply is the actual date of invoice. What is the actual date of invoice? 11th October. Or last date when invoices ought to have been issued. In our case, when invoices ought to have been issued is 10th October. So 10th October or 11th October, whichever is earlier. The answer is 10th of October. Now one special point I'll tell you is that in section 12.2, in section what sir? 12.2, date of payment is irrelevant. Okay? This is the local language. But I'll tell you from professional language, which I will tell professional language, which I tell to my clients. That language I'll tell you, I'll make you write that language only. Listen. That is, no GST is required to be paid on advances. That is a concept. That is a concept. There is no requirement to pay GST on advances. But don't tell, sir, this concept is for entire time of supply chapter, sir. No. I clearly wrote only for 12.2. But in service when I go, I will clearly tell on advance also you have to pay GST. And on advance GST is not required. One more time I repeat, on advance GST is not required. This concept is only and only for goods. That too in section 12.2. Don't apply same concept in section 13 again. Are we getting clarity?
Yes, sir.
In section 12.2, date of payment is irrelevant. That is, there is no requirement to pay GST in case of advances. So let me tell you, we have one client who's basically a showroom, car showroom. When it is a car showroom, lot of customers come and book the cars.
Yes,
They pay advances, my dear friends. They pay some 10,000, 11,000 and book the car in advance. At the time of delivery, they'll pay the balance and take the car. On all the advances, whatever customer pays at the time of booking the car, my client is not paying GST. because time of supply does not arise. But if you don't have knowledge on this, what a normal fellow will tell, normal means a BCom person who does not have professional knowledge, what he will tell, money has come, pay tax. Money did not come, don't pay tax. Be calm. But the problem is they should only be calm. They should not talk. If they talk, they will talk rubbish only. If there is no knowledge. I am not degrading BCom, something like that. If you have actually learned something in BCom, it is fantastic. But if it is a formality BCom, then it's of no use. Because any qualification what you get, there are two types of qualification. One, knowledge qualification. Number two, formality qualification. If it's a formality qualification, it is of no use. It will not fetch you anything. Simple, no? I keep getting a lot of people to my office for interviews and all. When I interview BCom person means, I will show him stars. After the interview, he will think of himself, what is that I am doing in my life? And why did I come to this interview? If he is a negative guy, if he is a positive guy, that person will think, good that I came for interview, I realized what I know. And I realized that I know that I don't know anything. That mindset I'll create and send him outside. Simple, no. If not, what is the use of me taking interview? Is that correct? No, sir. If I take interview and I don't add any value, what is the use? Why should I waste my time on you? I'll not waste time on that. I'll better spend my time. I have so many OTT options in my phone. I'll watch a movie instead of that. Or enjoy my office. Right in front of me, I have got wonderful TV. I can switch on the TV and watch a movie. Simple, no. If a person comes for interview, either it should benefit me or benefit him. Nothing is happening, I'll not waste my time. Sir, correct? No, sir. Did we understand?
Yes, sir.
Which section all this? Section 12. 2. One student is telling. Sir, time of chapter over, sir? Syllabus over, sir. Go. Syllabus finished. Finished, what is there? Anytime we can tell. But do you want to finish?
No.
We want to complete. So let's complete. So that's the story of 12.2. I'll summarize the whole story once again. Please listen. 12.2 talks about general rule, which clearly says time of supply means date of invoice. Date of invoice means actual date of invoice or last date when invoice is ought to have been issued under section 31, whichever is earlier. When invoice ought to have been issued, that we have discussed. And I clearly told one special point that date of payment is irrelevant. That is, there is no requirement to pay GST on advances. Are we fully clear with this point, everybody, my dear friends?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Take it. This table you don't know? Yes, sir. So what is 12.1? Liability to pay tax shall be as per time of supply. 12.2. Take it. Yeah. After amendment? Amendment happened way back in 2022 only, sir. Long back. If there is movement of goods, when we have to issue invoice, my dear friends, on or before a date of removal. No movement of goods on or before date of delivery. And goods sent on approval basis, already you know this concept, when it is approved or 6 months from the date of removal. Come on, please write, my dear friends. Don't relax. And continuous supply of goods means goods are supplied under a contract on recurring basis. Recurring means continuously. And payment is settled what? Periodically. Where, sir? So please observe that in case of continuous supply of goods in law, they gave the language as invoice must be issued at the time when statement is issued or payment is received. That is where they stopped in the law. But the meaning of that point is very clear that whichever is earlier, obviously. When you give the statement or when you got the payment means what? Whichever is earlier, obviously. Sadan, can you proceed? Please take these examples also. Please take example 2 also. In second example, payment has come before supply only. It's actually an advance, but still there is no requirement to pay GST. In case of goods, that too under section 12(2). Don't generalize that point. And below that note also you take, please. In section 12(2), date of payment is irrelevant. That is, no GST is required to be paid on what, my dear friends? Advances. Very, very important point. Done? That's it. That's the end of point of section 12. What, my dear friends? 12? 2. What is 12(1), my dear friends? Liability to pay tax shall be as per time of supply. 12(2) is what? General rule. Now moving forward, let's talk about 12(3), sir. So what is 12(3)? Time of supply for goods covered under RCM. Only goods, sir. Only goods, not services. For services, we have got 13(3) section. Time of supply for what, my dear friends? Goods covered under RCM. What they told in the law is, time of supply is earliest of following. I repeat one more time. Time of supply is what? Earliest of following. Number 1. Date of receipt of goods. When you actually receive the goods. So we are seeing from receiver point of view only, no? Because ultimately when we say RCM, who is liable to pay GST is recipient. So don't get that out. How will we know? We are talking from receiver point of view only. Date of receipt of goods. Second one, date of payment. Date of what, sir? Payment. Sir, date of payment means date of payment means date when payment is entered in books. Date when payment is what, sir? Entered in the books. Or date when payment is debited in bank. Don't use the word credited, because we are talking about recipient point of view. Recipient bank account is not get credited. Recipient bank account will be debited. Correct, no, my dear friends? Speak out. Come on, see that. Date when payment is entered in the books, or date when payment is debited in the bank account. Whichever is earlier. Date when payment is entered in the books. One more time I repeat. Date when payment is entered in the books, or date when payment is debited in bank account. Whichever is earlier. Sir, clear? Sorry, sir. Repeat again. Doesn't matter. When crediting is happening for him is not relevant. When debited in our bank account is relevant. Simple answer. Credit to the supplier account is not considered. Credit to supplier account is not considered for a simple reason, because we are clearly talking about time of supply for goods covered under RCM. Who is liable to pay GST is recipient only. So we are not concerned with what is happening in supplier. Clear? So what is the first one? Date of receipt of goods. Second one. The third one is 31st day from date of. So you see invoice date. From there you please take which day? 31st day. So for example, my dear friends, let's take an example and get complete clarity on this point. If not, we won't be clear on this. Okay? We are talking about Mr. A supplied goods to Mr. B, which are covered under RCM. Clear, my dear friends? Now, who is liable to pay GST? Mr. B is liable to pay GST. So, speak out. Assume for a second, date of receipt of goods is, let us say, 6th April. Okay? Next. Date when payment is entered in books is, let us say, 10th May. And date when payment is debited in the bank is 8th May. That means this person is maintaining books little late. 8th May only money got debited, but books are entered 10th May. Possible, no? Not necessarily same day only everything is happening. Sir, if same day only everything is happening, why do we prepare something called BRS practically then? We know BRS, right? Yes, sir. Exactly. Next, finally, date of invoice is, let us say, 4th March. Okay, my dear friends. Now tell me, time of supply is what, sir? Wait, relax. Earliest of following. Relax, don't tell the answer directly, wait. Number 1 is what? Date of receipt of goods. What is the date of receipt of goods? 6th April. That is very clear. Date of receipt of goods. Number 2 is what? Date of payment, which is nothing but 8th May. Because date of payment means date when payment is entered in the books or date when payment is debited in the bank. Whichever is earlier. So earlier answer is 8th May. Speak out. Yes, and the last one is 31st day from date of invoice. Friends, let me tell you, to calculate 31st day, forget the date of invoice. What is date of invoice? 4th March. March, how many days we have? 31. That means 27 days more. Speak out. Yes, 27 more. But we want which day? 31st day. So this will be. I hope you understood. Yes, I strongly believe you understood how to calculate that 31st day. Invoice date you leave it. Then calculate 30 days. Next day after 30 days. If you look at the Bare Act means what, you know? No? If you look at the Bare Act, original GST law, Bare Act, you will find a word like date immediately following. You will find language like this. Date immediately following 30 days from date of invoice. What is the line used? Date immediately following 30 days from date of invoice. So when we use the word date immediately following 30 days from date of invoice, meaning is what, sir? 31st day from date of invoice. Common sense only, no, sir. When I say date immediately following 30 days from date of invoice, it obviously means 31st day. There is no doubt about it. So now tell me, what out of all these three, my time of supply will become? Some students got excited starting only and they were telling 6th April, 6th April. You should know how to control. In life, it is important that in some places you have to control yourself. Clear, friends? So, too much excitement sometimes is too bad. Clear? Stop your thoughts, stop your thinking, come back to the concepts. I'm talking about when you are writing an answer, don't excite yourself. Think for a second, pause for a second, and then write the answer. Don't think too much, okay? Students these days, brains are in next level zone only. Relax, relax. Done? Understood? That's the end of story for which section, my dear friends? 12. 3. Time of supply for goods covered under RCM. Are we getting clarity? Speak out, friends. Take it, sir. Earliest of following: date of receipt of goods, date of payment, 31st day from date of invoice. These three dates, whichever is earlier, that is going to become time of supply. And date of payment means what, sir? Date when payment is entered in books, or date when payment is debited in bank account, whichever is earlier. Take the example, please. Say done? Friends, please reply. That's all. That's the story for which section, my dear friends? Section 12.3. So what is 12.1? Liability to pay tax shall be as per time of supply. 12.2 is what? General rule. 12.3. Time of supply in case of goods covered under RCM. Next section 12.4, which talks about time of supply in case of vouchers. Good. Students already know this concept. Very good. That's only heading, you know. Okay. So vouchers, you know, voucher coupons, tokens and all. Yeah. In January 2025, they brought one small amendment telling that vouchers is no more goods, no more service. Because voucher is only a medium for payment, is what they told. But that is still yet to come into effect. If it's applicable, then we'll see. Clear, friends? Everyone? Don't worry. See, one point I will tell you before I continue next is that I am telling you all the latest points which are applicable for your examination. Okay? But what generally I do is that 1-2 months before your exam only, 2 months before your exam only, our institute will release a document called statutory update. They'll release something called statutory update. If you don't know, then I'm surprised. You should know this. For taxation, especially direct and indirect taxes, institute will release one document called statutory update, in which you will find some new amendments. Amendments you will find applicable for your examination. If you're writing in December, for December. If you're writing in June, for June. What are applicable from new points you will find. Whenever you talk about statutory update amendments, it is not that everything what you learnt is gone. It is just that hardly 5 to 10% some new points will come. Some amendments you will find which are applicable for your examination. Okay, when we take the class, when I take the lectures for indirect taxes and all, I will try to ensure that I'll cover almost all the latest amendments. But some points I don't cover. Not that I don't know. I read every day, I know all the amendments. But I don't tell some points because I really don't know whether institute will apply that for your exam or not. So on a daily basis, some new circular will come, some new notification will come. Everything if I tell you, what is the use? You got the logic what I'm trying to tell you? So what will apply for exam? Some points which I know very clearly that this is a part of syllabus, all that I will tell. So for example, recently, what was the topic where I told January 25 amendment? RCM. RCM part I clearly told, renting of commercial property, supplier is unregistered person, recipient registered person other than composition levy. That point is not there in your institute material. If you want to go and check, it's not the institute material. But still I told because it's an amendment of January 25 and I'm 100% sure it is applicable for examination. That's what I told. But some points which institute may or may not apply, how can I take chance and tell you? You got my point? Yes, so that is why what I do is, once institute releases statutory update, within 1 week of institute releasing, I will prepare one video and I'll post on YouTube and I'll share that link with you. You watch that one lecture for sure. Not that one day before exam I'll release that. I'll ensure that at least 1-2 months before exam I'll send it to you. But it is not in my hands, it is in institute hands. No, that video me releasing is in institute hands. If institute release 1 month before, I'll also tell you 1 month before only. If they release 2 months before, I'll tell you 2 months before. If they release 3 months before, I'll tell you 3 months before only. Clear, friends? So, not that entire syllabus will change, hardly 5-10%, few variations will come. Clear, friends? But I will try to ensure that majority points will be covered well in advance only. That is my responsibility. You got my point? Yes, speak out, my dear friends. Yes, so, with this point, I'll proceed further. So, what is section 12.4? Time of supply in case of vouchers. Vouchers are like coupons or tokens and all. Clear? And there are 2 types of vouchers, sir. If supply is identifiable. Supply is what, sir? Identifiable. That means we know very clearly what is the purpose of that voucher. We know very clearly what is the purpose of that voucher. So for example, if you get one shirt voucher, what you can buy with that is only shirt. But let us say you got one DMart voucher. You can go and buy any item there. No? You can go and buy any item. Flipkart voucher. Amazon voucher, you can buy anything. In that case, we will tell supply is not identifiable. If supply is identifiable, my dear friends, time of supply is date of, obviously because supply is identifiable. Next situation, if supply is not identifiable, then time of supply is what, sir? Date of redemption of voucher. So friends, if supply is identifiable, what is the answer, my dear friends? Date of issue of voucher. When the voucher is issued, that is the answer. And if supply is not identifiable, time of supply is the date of redemption of voucher. Simple answer, not a big deal. I hope we are clear with this. Speak out. Next point also will complete, then you can take these 2 points together. 12.4 is what? Vouchers. Supply is identifiable, what is the answer? Date of issue of voucher. Supply is not identifiable. And section 12.5 is a residual case. This section starting only says section 12.5 is applicable if section 12.2, 12.3, 12.4 does not apply. Sir, why do you think 12.2, 3, 4 does not apply? Sir, in 12.2 we want invoice date. 12.3 also we want invoice date. We want payment dates. Imagine a case where invoice date is not available, payment date also not available. Invoice date not available because he did not give invoice only. Payment date not available because payment has come in cash, he is not maintaining books of accounts. Understood? That case is possible, no sir? That is why they put in the law residual case. Like your income tax, income from other sources. Income is taxable, but it is not fitting in salary, house property, PGPP, capital gains. Bring under income from other sources. Correct, no friends? Example, family pension. Normal pension you get, will tax in salary. An employee died, family is getting pension. We can't tax in salary because employer-employee relationship is gone. It is not house property. It is not capital gains. It is not business income. Where do you bring them? Exactly. In the same way, invoice date is not available, payment date is not available, but it is taxable. Then how to determine time of supply? 12.2 is not applicable, 12.3 is not applicable, 12.4 is not applicable. Apply 12.5, residual case. Understood? Now what is residual case? Let's understand that. 12.5 says, if he is required to file periodical return. And who is required for periodical return? Obviously a registered person. If he is required to file periodical return, TOS shall be the date on which return is, wrong answer. Date on which return is to be filed. Return is filed is different. Return is to be filed is different. When I say return is to be filed, it means what? Due date. Correct, no friends? So, if it is required a periodic return, what is the answer, my dear friends? Time of supply shall be date on which return is to be filed. Next situation. If he is not required to file periodical return. Friends, come on, tell me, who is not required to file periodical return? If he is not required to file periodical return, that means he is an unregistered person. Then TOS shall be No option, but for telling one line. TOS shall be date on which tax is paid. Which day you paid tax, that is only time of supply. Because no data is available. You might get one doubt. Say with unregistered person, why is he required to pay tax? I have an answer. He is unregistered person, but he is required to get registered. Example, one Pani Puri person, one Samosa person, one Chai person, till now is unregistered, turnover is huge, never paid tax. One fine day, government caught and told him, come on, pay tax. He is telling, invoice date, illa. Payment date, not there. Bank statement, bank account, not there only. You understood? But law is telling pay tax. Then what is time of supply? Which day you paid tax, that is only time of supply. So what is the option left, sir, then? Sir, getting clarity?
Yes, sir.
Understood, sir?
Yes, sir.
Practically 99% we don't apply residual case. Residual case will apply only when government is catching one person where details are not available. Then they'll apply residual case. Are we getting clarity? Yes, sir. So what is 12.1? Liability to pay tax shall be as per time of supply. 12.2 general rule. 12.3 RCM. 12.4 vouchers. 12.5 residual case. 12.6 we'll talk, then we'll complete. But first take this, then we'll write. So for voucher, what is the answer, friends? If supply is identifiable, date of issue of voucher. And if supply is not identifiable, date of redemption of voucher. So done? 12.5, what is the answer? If it is required for periodical return, DOS shall be the date on which return is to be filed. And if it is not required periodical return, TOS shall be the date on which tax is paid. Come on, finish writing this also. Then we'll complete 12.6. Say done? Come on, friends, moving forward. Section with section, my dear friends. Addition in what, sir? Value. That means value is increasing. Addition in value by way of interest or late fee or penalty. Sir, are we talking about interest, late fee, penalty, what we are paying to government? No. We are talking about what? Interest, late fee or penalty which is charged by whom, sir? From recipient. So it is as good as, for example, we are supplying goods or service to customer. We are telling him, you please make payment within 30 days. If you don't pay within 30 days, we'll charge interest. On the interest also, GST will apply. Obviously, sir. And don't ask me one question. Sir, few days back you only told service of giving loans where consideration interest is exempt. That is service of giving loans. But this is not service of giving loans. This is basically, since payment is not made on time, this is basically a case where since payment is not made on time, we are collecting what? Interest. Are we getting clarity? Both are different. Don't combine both of them. Does that make sense? Addition in value by way of interest, late fee or penalty charged by supplier from recipient. Time of supply will be straight, simple answer. Date when addition in value is received. When you got that time only pay the tax. So getting it? Speak out, my dear friends. Yes, so let's say, for example, one person, Mr. A, Mr. A, he supplied goods on 10th February, issued invoice on 12th February, payment received delayed, and paid extra 10,000. And paid extra what, sir? 10,000. Let us say he supplied goods for 1 lakh, sir. Originally supplied for 1 lakh and payment got delayed. He paid extra what, sir? 10,000 on 6th December. Sir, you observe carefully, somewhere in January, February he gave invoice and is getting payment in December. Speak out. Yes, everybody, sir. Yes, sir. Obviously, supplier will not keep quiet. Supplier is telling, please pay interest or late fee or penalty. Now tell me, friends, how to determine time of supply? For 1 lakh, what is the answer? For 1 lakh, the answer is 10th of February, which is nothing but date of invoice, actual date of invoice, or last date when invoice is ought to have been issued, whichever is earlier. So for original 1 lakh, it is 10th of February. And for 10,000, it is. And this answer I told because of 12.2. This answer I told because of 12.6. I think we got complete clarity on this point. So that's the end of story of 12.6, and that is also the end of story for section 12. Time of supply in case of goods. Take it. So at final level, generally they combine the concepts and give the question. Don't expect a separate question like that. How you get in CMA Inter. In CMA Inter, separate small questions will come in exam. But final level, they combine the concepts and give. Are we clear with this, my dear friends? So friends, what is section 12.1? Liability to pay tax shall be as per time of supply. 12.2 general rule. 12.3 RCM. 12.4 vouchers. 12.5 residual case. 12.6 addition in value by way of interest, late fee or penalty which is charged by supplier from recipient. Are we getting clarity, friends? Please reply. Yes, madam, are you busy? Development in life is so high. Earlier, people used to see their face in mirrors. Slowly, they started using cameras, front camera, and selfie camera, and adjusting. Nowadays, people started using calculators also. What's there? Done. See. No problem. Come on, friends. What is 12.4? Vouchers. 12.3. 12.2. General rule. Correct, no, friends? What is 9.2? 5 petroleum products temporarily kept outside GST. What is 9.1? Alcohol liquor for human consumption. Remember that, no? Undenatured extra neutral alcohol or rectified spirit. What is 12.1? Liability to pay tax shall be as per time of supply. What is 7.1a? Supply includes all forms of supply of goods or services or both, such as sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, rental, lease or disposal, made or agreed to be made for a consideration in the course or furtherance of business. What is section 249? 252. 202. 274. What is section 12.5? Residual case. Wow. Are clear? Let's now talk about section 13. Listen carefully, sir. Which section we are talking, my dear friends? 13. Section 13 deals with time of supply in case of services. Now some beautiful point I'll tell. Listen very clearly, sir. 13.1, 13.2, 13.3, 13.4, 13.5, 13.6. 13.1 same as 12.1. What does that mean? Liability to pay tax shall be as per time of supply. Over. 13.2 general rule, which we have to learn, we'll discuss in detail. That only will take some time. Sir, understood, sir? Yes, sir. 13.3 time of supply for services covered under RCA, GTA, insurance agent, recovery agent, sponsorship service, legal services, security service, renting of property, arbitral tribunal. Remember all these points?
Yes, sir.
Author to publisher, music composer to music company. Takit tha. So remember that all this? Yes, exactly. 13.4 same as 12.4. That means what? Vouchers. Supply is identifiable, issue of voucher. Not identifiable, redemption of voucher. Should I ask, why it is there again, sir? If voucher related to goods, 12.4 will apply. Voucher related to service, 13.4 will apply. Understood? Yes, sir. If it is a packed water bottle voucher, 12.4 will come. If it is a pizza voucher, 13.4 will come. The pizza is a service, sir. Yes, sir. Packed water bottle is a good, sir, because it's a pre-packaged and labeled, sir. Sir, remember? Yes, sir. Did we learn something about 25 kgs? Yes, sir. More than 25 kg. exempt. Less than 25 kg, pre-packaged and labeled taxable. If it is not pre-packaged and labeled, exempt. What is the answer for a switching Evo Electro Corporation? Switching Evo. I told one case law. West Bengal, very good. External batteries to the UPS. It is not composite supply. It is mixed supply because they have got separate functionality. I discussed. What is the case law of TCS? Oh, that means in your exam, if that question comes, I should come to your examination center, do like this and do like this. Then you will tell. And some of them, if you think wrong like this means you will write fossil meals and come. Meals. What is that? See, software embedded in a CD is regarded as goods. Sir, I taught this, sir.
Yes, sir.
Tell, sir.
Yes, sir.
13.5. Same as. Wow. Residual case. 13.6. Addition in value by way of interest, late fee, penalty. Charged by supplier from recipient. Time of supply will be the date when addition in value is received. So what we have to learn is only general rule and RCM. That is done. Section 13 is over. Complete. Not finished. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
See now. Let's talk about 13.2. Very, very important. Very, very practical. General rule. Invoice issued within prescribed time under section 31. What is the prescribed time? We'll talk. Don't worry. Now here there are two possibilities. Possibility number 1, yes. Possibility number 2, no. Wow, sir. Wow, how, sir? Talented from childhood only like this? Yes or no? That means what? Invoice issue within prescribed time. Then what is the answer? Straight away they told in the law, date of invoice or date of payment, whichever is. Date of invoice means actual invoice date only. Here don't tell ought to be issued and all. Date of invoice, date of payment, whichever is earlier. And let me tell you, date of payment means date when payment is entered in books or date when payment is debited. Why? Supplier, forward charge. Payment is credited in bank account. Date when payment is entered in books or date when payment is credited in bank account. Whichever is earlier. Date when payment is entered in books or date when payment is credited in bank account. Whichever is earlier. So if invoice is issued within the prescribed time, the answer is date of invoice, date of payment, whichever is earlier. That means, is there a requirement to pay GST on advances? Yes. But in 12.2 what I told, there is no requirement to pay GST on advances. That is only in case of goods. That too in case of 12.2. Speak out. Are we clear, sir? Yes. So what is the answer? Date of invoice, date of payment, whichever is earlier. And if invoice is not issued within the prescribed time, then the answer is date of completion of service. Date of completion of service or date of payment. These two, whichever is earlier. Now, my date of payment means date of receipt of payment only. Obviously, I'm talking from supplier point of view. Very clear. Yeah? Come on, friends. In case you can. Come on, friends. If invoice issue within prescribed time, what is the answer, my dear friends? Date of invoice or a date of payment, whichever is earlier. Sir, date of payment is already defined in the law, no? Date when payment is entered in the books or date when payment is credited in the bank, whichever is earlier. Obviously, it means the supplier point of view only. Yeah? If you want to, you write receipt of payment, no problem. So, if invoice issue within the prescribed time, what is the answer? Date of invoice, date of payment, whichever is earlier. And if invoice is not issued within the prescribed time, date of completion of service or date of payment, whichever is earlier. I strongly believe that we are getting clarity on this point. But the big question to be answered is, what is the prescribed time? So we are telling everywhere that if invoice issued within the time, then this is the answer. If invoice not issued within the time, this is the answer. But what is the time to issue invoice? That is important. No? Section 31 says, generally, invoice must be issued within 30 days from completion of service. Come on, friends. Generally, what is the answer? Invoice must be issued within 30 days from completion of service. Second, in case of banks or NBFC, it is 45 days. Generally, how many days? 30 days. Bank NBFC, how many days? 45 days. So if invoice is given within the time, what is the answer? Date of invoice, date of payment, whichever is earlier. And if it is not given within the time, date of completion of service or date of payment, whichever is earlier. So generally, what is the time limit? 30 days. Bank NBFC, how many days? 45 days. Next point. In case of continuous supply of service, sir, in case of continuous supply of service means supply of service under a contract on what basis, sir? Recurring basis for a period exceeding 3 months. So if you observe the word, in case of continuous supply of goods, we never wrote the word more than 3 months. In case of service only, they use the word, it is called continuous supply of service only when it is for a period more than 3 months. And a classic example, my dear friends, annual maintenance charges. AMC we call it, you know that, no? For example, for our TVs, laptops or our aqua guards, water purifiers, we take that AMC. That is for a period more than 3 months. One more a classic example is construction contract. For example, I am a builder. You came to me and booked a flat from me. I will take some sweet time to give you flat, no? I will take for a period more than 3 months, no, sir? Then what service I am giving you is called continuous supply of service. Because it is under a contract and for a period more than 3 months. And payment is settled periodically based on milestones or occurrence of event. Example, sir, if you are a builder, if I am a builder, you come to me for booking a flat. I am at the starting phase of construction. I told you flat value is 2 crores. Will you pay me entire 2 crores now only? Obviously, because you don't trust me. But if you tell entire 2 crores I will pay after everything is getting ready, what I will tell, if everything is after getting ready means flat value is not 2 crores, 2.5 crores. Free. If you pay everything after 2 years, why will I keep quiet, sir? Then what I will tell, once a slab is done, pay 20%. Once bricks are done, pay another 20%. Once flooring is done, another 30%. Once this is done, this much percent. We'll fix the milestone. That is called milestone or occurrence of an event. So getting clarity? Speak out, sir. Now one very important point what I want to tell you is that in case of continuous supply of service, one more time I repeat, in case of what, sir? Continuous supply of service. When we have to issue invoice, listen what they told in the law. In case of continuous supply of service, if due date for payment, what is that word, sir? If due date for payment is ascertainable from the contract. If due date for payment is ascertainable from the contract, then the answer is on or before due date of payment. If due date for payment is what, my dear friends? Ascertainable from the contract. That means in the contract, it is clearly fixed. After 3 months this, after 6 months this, after this. Then on or before what, sir? Due date of payment. Please issue the invoice. Sir, this is very important because we are talking about when invoice is supposed to be issued. This has got importance because when invoice is supposed to be issued, if within that time you give invoice, then the time of supply will be date of invoice, date of payment, whichever is earlier. And if you don't give invoice within that prescribed time, then the time of supply will be date of completion of service or date of payment, whichever is earlier. The answer will completely change. Getting clarity? So if the due date for payment is ascertainable from the contract, what is the answer then? On or before due date of payment. And next line. If due date for payment is not ascertainable from the contract, then you have to issue invoice on or before date of payment. Sir, if you know due date, you will issue invoice on or before the due date. If you don't know due date, you will issue invoice on or before the date of payment. Sir, getting clarity? Speak out, friends. Everyone, sir? Finally, last point. If payment is linked to an event or milestone. One more time I repeat. If payment is what, sir? Linked to an event or milestone. On or before completion of such event or milestone. By that time, please raise the invoice. So this is the concept of when invoice to be supposed to be issued. This is the concept of when invoice is supposed to be issued in case of continuous supply of service. Are we all getting clarity? Everybody, my dear friends? Please reply, sir.
Yes, sir.
Finally, one last point I will tell. With that, we can complete this story of when invoice is supposed to be issued. If what, sir? If supply of service ceases before completion. Sir, ceases means stops. For example, I called one painter to paint this room. 20% work is over. After that, I realized that he is doing some extraordinary useless work. Extraordinary useless work. Then I told him, sir, please go. But if I tell please go, he will not go, no. What he will tell? Sir, 20% work done, that much you pay, then I will go. Sir, speak out, sir. Yes, so if supply of service ceases, stops, sir, you know, cease. Cease fire. Exactly. If supply of service ceases before completion, then invoice must be issued at the time of cessation to the extent of value of service completed. Are we getting clarity, everybody? Speak out, my dear friends. So that is a story when invoice is supposed to be issued. Very, very, very interesting point. So now I'll give my own example very clearly. I will feel sad, but still I'll give example. Why I'll feel sad? You will realize why Shiva Teja is feeling sad while giving this example. Practical example only I'm giving, which we see regularly. Shiva Teja, registered person in GST. I'm a chartered accountant and of course cost accountant, but practicing as a chartered accountant only. Yeah. Now, I have given service to my client. So, getting clarity? Speak out. Sir, service is given on, let us say, 10th June. 10th June. And what I have done is, I gave invoice to my client. Listen very clearly here. I gave invoice to my client on 3rd July. And client, this crazy fellow, he made me payment on 10th December. Sir, when did he pay, sir? December. Tell me one thing. When did I give service to him? 10th June. Forget date. When did I give? June. When did I give invoice? July. When payment I got? Listen. Now tell me, first of all, what is the time limit to give invoice? 30 days. Did I give? Yes. Now tell me, what is time of supply? Speak out. Since invoice is given within the time of supply is date of invoice, date of payment, whichever is earlier. So time of supply is 3rd of July. When time of supply is 3rd of July, you tell me, my dear friends, from Shiva Teja point of view, due date for payment of tax will be 20th of August. But actually payment came to me in December. Practically in our office, lot of times we pay like this. Service is over, invoice is given to customer, payment he did not make, but we are paying GST to government from our own pocket. That time it pains like anything because of time of supply. You might tell, sir, better don't give invoice only, no? If I don't give invoice only, violation of law, because I am supposed to give invoice within 30 days. That's why what we tell our client is, we are registered in MSME. You have to make payment to us within the time. If not, we will charge interest. MSME, you know, no? Micro, small and medium enterprise. Clear? We will tell like that, but we don't charge interest. That's the problem. We'll start implementing soon. Anyways, are we clear with this concept, everyone? Yes, so please tell, sir. Yes, sir. That's the end of story for section 13.2. Which talks about general rule. Did you finish writing this? Okay, come on. Let's complete this. 13.3 we'll talk later. But first take this. So if you observe carefully, 13.2 and 3 only are new things. 1, 4, 5, 6 are same like 12, 1, 4, 5, 6. Sir, done? Start taking general rule, please. Don't get it out. Why did I take that kind of box? That box is technically called decision box in flowcharts. That's why I took that rhombus symbol box. I would have taken square or rectangle, but I took rhombus because in flowchart language, that rhombus is called decision box. Not for time pass. Right. So if invoice is given within the prescribed time, what is the answer, friends? Date of invoice, date of payment, whichever is earlier. And if it is not given within prescribed time, date of completion of service or date of payment, whichever is earlier. Sale of land and building is neither supply of goods nor supply of service. But if you are giving construction service, it is service only. That means what, in simple line, if you are buying an apartment before OC, then GST will apply. And what he is giving is service. If you are buying one flat or apartment after OC, then GST will not apply because sale of land and building is neither supply of goods nor supply of service as per section 7(2)(a) read with schedule 3. Generally? But that is not goods, that is service. Sir is providing you construction service, boss. Is he selling you steel, cement, sand? He is giving service, no? Then? Oh, this one, okay. Done? Date of payment means date when payment is entered in the books or date when payment is credited in the bank, whichever is earlier. And in RCM case, we will use the word debited instead of credited. Done? So generally we have to give within 30 days. For bank NBFC, we have got 45 days time. And for continuous supply of service, we will see whether due date is ascertainable or not ascertainable. Ascertainable on or before due date of payment, not ascertainable on or before date of payment. And if it is linked to an event or milestone, on or before completion of such event or milestone. Important concept. Ceases means what, sir? Stops. So if supply of service ceases before completion, invoice must be issued at the time of cessation to the extent of value of service completed up to that cessation point. And in continuous supply of goods, did we hear a word called 3 months? In continuous supply of goods, do we have a word called 3 months? No. But this 3 months word is very clearly given in service. In service, we call it as continuous supply of service only if it is for a period more than 3 months. Take the example also, please. So this example clearly signifies that even though payment has come in December, Shiva Teja time of supply is July only, and I should pay to the government by 20th of August. So practically it is so common that in services, even without money coming, we are making payment to the government. Because of time of supply rules. Are we done? Speak out, friends. Finished writing? That's all for this lecture. Balance will take forward in next lecture. Thank you so very much. Take care. See you all in next lecture. Shiva Teja signing off. Bye bye.